So I'm just going to go ahead and get right into this. Babylon does not give a hot damn about your heart chakra at all. In fact, they are specifically trying to attack the heart chakra so that way you can't connect. The heart chakra is the middle ground. It is right at the center. That's why they call it the heart center. It's at the center of all your other energy centers, the ones that ascend and the ones that descend. So they know that if they can attack that and they can make your heart impure, then your body will be impure, your spirit will be impure, your eye won't be light, it'll be darkness, it'll be impure, your mind will be impure, everything about you. Once your heart is messed up, once your intent is messed up, then your intuition is messed up. Everything else rocks out of balance once you're not right with your heart. They don't want you to know anything about emotional intelligence. They want you to think that your strength lies purely in the physical. Once you start dealing with your heart, it forces you to deal with everything else. It literally takes you into everything else, because your heart is what sets the tone for how you feel that day. So if you're feeling something and you're not dealing with it, you're feeling something about yourself, you're feeling something about the next person, you're feeling something about a situation, and you don't deal with that situation, what makes you think that you're going to have a balanced mind? What makes you think that your body is going to continue to be balanced? If your heart is not right, nothing else will be right. So they're going to continuously attack your heart. They're going to make it so that way you don't deal with the trauma, you just let it sit there. You don't go and do the meditations so that way you can deal with the trauma. You're, in fact, probably afraid of sitting there and sitting with your trauma, sitting with the dark, and sitting with your subconscious, sitting with everything that's in your subconscious thoughts, because those things are being affected with your heart. And your heart has a part in the effect, because as soon as you have an emotion and you don't deal with it, then it gets pushed back, right? But just because it got pushed back don't mean it went anywhere. It didn't go nowhere. It's still there. It's just not being dealt with. So that's why it's so important for us to have that type of connectivity, that balance. Because yes, everything's balanced, the masculine and the feminine, right? This would be considered more of the feminine energy, dealing with the heart, dealing with the emotions, because that's your passive side. That's your side that is not in action. That's your side that's sitting with itself, right? You're not so much of doing, you're in the act of being. That's when you start getting more into your feminine energy, once again, whether or not you're being male or female. Everybody has this, so everybody has to do it. And the thing is, with women and men being wired so differently, and with us being governed of the two halves of both of our energies, we have to teach each other shit like this. Just like how men are very, very good at teaching women how to be able to adapt, be instinctual, be logical, and stuff like that. We learn that type of stuff from men so that way we can enhance and balance our masculine energy. And then on the other side, if we sit here and we keep on complaining about men, right, and saying they're not emotionally intelligent, oh, they don't know how to deal with their emotions, they don't know how to just say what they feel, say what they mean. Okay, well, if we feel like that, then why are we not teaching it? If we think that they don't know how to do it, then why not let somebody know how to do it? But see, that's the thing. More of that is coming out. And for the men, I do encourage you, if you feel like there is a blockage with your feminine energy, if you feel like there's a blockage with that side of yourself that can just be, that can just sit, breathe, and just, that can just connect for a second and just shut out all the noise, all the action, all that adrenaline, and all of that for a second, so that way you can just have that moment of being. I would advise you to go look at somebody that can teach you that. We are all over the place. There are ladies out there that, they're not sexist, they're not just man haters out here, and they are trying to give certain tips and tricks on how you can deal with your trauma and be more at ease, so that way you can do what you need to do and not have weight on you, and not have weight on your subconscious. Babylon doesn't give a damn, okay? They want you in a malicious state 24/7, within your mind, within your heart, and within your spirit, your body, everything. They want you Like, they literally want you robotic. They want you to be a slave, so they don't want you to connect to that part of yourself. They want you to connect to the part of yourself that's robotic, so that way they can control it, because you control robots. That's what you do. This whole agenda with the AI, once again, we're becoming like AI. The more that we don't connect to the parts of us that are not, that literally, we say things like, oh, a big difference between us and AI, and why AI will never be us is because we have emotions. Okay, well, if you don't deal with the goddamn emotions and you let them sit there and you let them just become nothing, basically, to you, when they're still affecting your body, they're still weighing your body down, they're still causing you pains, they're still causing you headaches, they're still causing you stress, they're still messing you up. So if we don't deal with the emotions, and then we become colder and colder and colder, and then the heart becomes stone, what's going to be the difference then between you and a robot, between you and AI? You'll be just like it. And this is a very, very, very dangerous thing to allow to happen, is to allow yourself to be so disconnected from being human to a point where you can't even, like, you get to a point where you can't understand people anymore. You can't understand a perspective that's outside of yourself. You can't understand, like, when somebody is telling you what they're going through, or they're telling you about a situation. You can't empathize with it. You can't help them because you can't feel. There are people out here that are getting to that point, y'all. And so that's basically all that I wanted to say. This wasn't meant to be a long video. It wasn't going to be long anyway. But emotional intelligence, they don't care about it, and they don't want you to have it. And it is a gift. It is a strength that's going to balance and strengthen everything about yourself. Once you start tapping into one part of yourself, don't get it twisted. You're tapping into every single part of yourself. That's why they don't want you to know about everything being connected and all of this stuff. They want these secrets gone. They don't want you to know these life secrets that are going to help you have a better life, help you have a better perspective, help you clear your mind, help you clear yourself, help you cleanse and purify yourself without their fucking help. You don't need them to do it. That's the thing. And they want you fixated on the idea of, oh, we need them, we need them, we need them, we need them. We don't need this goddamn system. We do have to adapt, unfortunately, to the system, because we're here, we live here. For everybody who is living in America or living in an industrial type of setting, which that's going all over the world, like Babylon, it's not just America. Babylon is spreading abroad now, So if you are somewhere that is trying to take your freedom, that is trying to take your connection to nature, your connection to other people, your connection to your loved ones, your connection to yourself, first and foremost, your connection to the Most High, to your spirit, to the spirit, your connection to everything and all things that is around you. If you are living in a setting that is trying to disconnect you in any shape or form, disconnect from it, at least for a little bit. We always act like we don't have time, right? We say things like, oh, well, I don't have time to meditate because I'm doing too much. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. If you have time to be on your phone, you have time to meditate. If you have time to watch a show, you have time to meditate. If you have time to breathe, you got time to meditate. There's no more. We can't keep on making excuses. See, this is what Babylon wants you to do. They want you to keep on making excuses to not work on yourself, to not work on the inward parts of yourself. You can work on your face all day long. You can do your hair up pretty. You can put on a suit as a man and feel good. You can make your money and do all this stuff. But if you are not dealing with this, everything's going to end up being vain. And you're going to fail it. There have been way too many people out here that have already proven that they have gotten everything that they thought that they wanted in life. Oh, I got this, I got that, I got my dream car, I got my dream. And then they ended up feeling empty because nothing was based on the heart. You see, these people would have felt fulfilled if they were putting purpose towards the riches that they gained, if they were putting purpose towards their gains and doing it with passion. It starts here, baby. And Babylon is going to just keep on poking and prodding and just I'm telling you, they don't give a damn about your heart. They want to destroy your heart. They are literally doing things that make us more separate. They are doing things that make us less empathic. They are doing things that make us less intuitive, purposefully, so that way they can plant thoughts inside your head. They can plant insecurities inside your mind. They can plant, malicious feelings in your heart, like jealousy and envy and all of these. They'll put all the 7 sins in there, every single one of them. Because really, the 7 sins are just 7 spirits. There's 7 spiritual states that we all go through. Like, we're human. We're not, immune to this shit. Everybody's going to be a little bit jealous sometimes, a little bit envious, a little bit this, a little bit that. And it doesn't inherently mean that you are a evil, malicious person. But if you don't deal with it, you will end up becoming that. Like I said, the most dangerous person out here is a person that thinks that they're perfect. I'm going to say that again. The most dangerous person out here is the individual who feels like they are perfect. The reason why this individual is dangerous is because they don't feel like there's anything to work on. They feel like everything is fine, right? And then the subconscious is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And they don't even know that it is, because they too busy thinking that they so fucking high and mighty that they can do whatever the hell they want, and they can say whatever the hell they want, and they don't have to mind nobody's feelings, and, oh, well, this is just how I feel if you don't like how I am, and all of this stuff. And you that's going to come back. That everything that you put out, that's going to come back to you. So it's like, do you, but if you don't deal with it, and you don't deal with your heart, and you keep on feeling malicious towards the next person, you keep on feeling envious, jealous, and all this stuff towards the next person, you keep on feeling, angry towards somebody, or you keep on trying to make people's life worse for whatever fucking reason that you are, you have these thoughts where you just want to make people's life bad. You just want to go out there and you just want to stir up mess, or you want to stir up drama, or you want to gossip, or you want to just, instead of denying it and saying, oh, well, that's not me, why not be like, why am I like this? I mean, there's a meme. Why am I like this meme? But even the memes is trying to give you blueprints here. The why am I like this? You know how many times I had to ask myself, like, why am I like this? Why am I doing the things I do? Why I think the things that I think sometimes? Like, why am I being so negative right now? Why am I, that's not me. What the hell is that? Where does negativity come from? I do that on a daily basis, and sometimes I do it too much. There's excess too. You'll get to a point where you're like me and you kind of overanalyze and you think a little bit too much if you don't know how to balance it too. That's the unfortunate part, and that's the part that I'm going through. I'm trying my best to balance the sit with self and the put into action part. That's the part that I know that I've dealt with and that I know that I need to balance. Because I sat with myself and I said, this is what's wrong with me. This is what I need to get better at. Because I'm human and I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm not going to try to reach perfection. But I'm going to continuously make one thing that I can make better each day. Because that's all I could do. And it starts here. Because especially with me being, personally, I'm a very highly sensitive person. And so I need to balance that. I can't, my heart chakra, I told y'all, I live in my heart chakra. Like, I'm in it 24/7 trying to balance my goddamn self. And so with me, it's just a little bit different. But either one is bad. If you have an overt heart chakra, that's very empathic and always feeling all the time and crying a lot and stuff like that, you can deal with those imbalances too. It's okay. Just sit with them and be like, okay, why am I so emotional? Why did that just trigger me so much and just make me cry so much? And why did, why I can't watch Lil Bill without crying or something, if there's something that you need to sit with on that side too, that's perfectly fine. But please deal with your heart. Please sit with your heart. Your heart is waiting for you to sit with it. Like, it's sitting there like, when is my person going to fucking tap in with me? Because I'm feeling some type of way. You might not feel some type of way, but the heart thinks. It is like they say that we have brains all over the body because of the chakras. There's a brain in your stomach. There's a brain here. There's a brain here, obviously, and everywhere else, you guys. There is centers of your body that is operating by itself because you have no control of them. And you're not trying to give yourself that control back. You can gain that control back. It will not happen overnight, but the more that you do it, the more that you start to master yourself. Know thyself at all times. And don't let Babylon make you think that you can't do it. You can. Don't let them tell you that you can. You can. I believe in you, boo. I do. And so I'm going to go ahead and end the video. But I love you guys with all my heart. And I will be tapping in again. I've been a little bit busy. Just mothering and housework and, just life. Just got to get through. I'm trying to, been trying to manage the YouTube channel. I'm also doing my Substack thing where I'm trying to keep writing on that. Just trying to keep myself busy. When you're a mom, you gotta, you gotta stay open to your identity outside being a mom all the time, or you're gonna lose your mind. So I will be back, though. I will make sure that I tap back in. I love you guys.